Condor Pribulon, everybody! Okay, I'm running out of interesting ways to start each week, just so you know. But anyway, welcome to the absolutely, completely random podcast for Saturday, November 18th, 2017. We are less than a week away from Thanksgiving, which also means that we are also less than a week away from Black Friday, which officially kicks off the Christmas shopping season and the nightmares for those that work in retail. You poor people. Including myself, I have to work night shift. But anyway, I have a cold. Yeah, that's going to be fun. So just a heads up, I'm liable to be coughing a lot. I do have some cough drops. And I do have a 44-ounce Dr. Pepper, courtesy of my favorite convenience store. But anyway, what topics am I talking about this week? Well, I have some sad and somber news for fans of Dragon Ball, as the voice actress for Bulma in Japan has sadly passed away. Ichiro Oda, oh yes, Oda, you wonderful creator of One Piece, has announced that the One Piece manga will enter the Wano arc in 1 to 2 years. Brilliant. Beautiful news, beautiful news. Nintendo is in discussions with Universal's Illumination over a possible Super Mario Bros. Animated film. Ooh, that's interesting. A second One Piece topic, Nami. We all know who Nami is. Those of you that watch One Piece, well, she's getting a new doll with her bodilicious proportions recreated for it. Yep. And something that interests me and makes me so happy, Funimation has revealed the English dub cast for an anime series that I watched a few years ago, subbed in Japanese, and subbed in English, dubbed in Japanese, and it's dubbing it in English, and we get the English cast for, I wish I had a sound effects machine right now, Ace Attorney. I was going to do a drum roll. Ace Attorney's English dub cast has been announced by Funimation. All this, maybe some interesting stuff, all this week on the absolutely, completely random podcast. But for those of you who have not been here before, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check out my backlog of episodes. I'm over a year into this, looking forward to year 2 coming down the horizon. But otherwise, you know the song and dance if you've been here before. A-Roads-2012 on eBay. For all your oddities, collectible, and whatnot. Fact be, I just got some Pokemon cards today at the Dollar Tree, and ironically, and surprisingly, and shockingly, I opened up a pack of them, and I scored a $12 card. I'm not joking. I looked it up before I started tonight. It's worth like $12. Out of a $1 pack, I got 3 cards in that pack, and one of them was like a $12 card. So, I'm kind of happy with that. That means the 33-cent investment that I figured. That's pretty well worth it, if you think about it. I'm happy for that. That's going up on eBay, literally. Look forward to that. And plenty of other things. Like I said, check out A-Roads-2012 on eBay for all your collectible oddity needs. And remember, the holidays are coming, which means that you can get something that maybe somebody might like a 10-pack of common Yu-Gi-Oh cards, or some weird oddities, maybe a part for one of their old toys that they might want to fix up. Hint, hint. You never know. I do have new stuff. I am planning on getting new stuff up. So my work schedule has been kicking my ass lately, and taking pictures of that stuff and remembering to do it, not to mention writing the description, does take a bit of time. So, look forward to that. There is more stuff coming up. I do promise that. I'm not lying through my teeth. I do plan to put more stuff up, but like I said, my work schedule has been kicking my ass. But anyway, A-Roads-2012 on eBay. You can also follow me on Twitter at OtakuRoads. So how'd my week go? Well, I caught a cold. It's kind of obvious. Yeah, I felt like crap yesterday. I cleaned my room up a little bit yesterday, like about 2 garbage bags worth. Yes, I'm a fan of my junk, okay? I don't clean my room often, and when I do, it's sort of like the sun is now rising in the west and setting in the east sort of a moment. The planets have to align in just the right order and just the right polarity for me to do it. I'm not lazy, it's just that I'm used to it because I don't know why. I'm just used to it. I don't clean my room that often. So I did manage to do a little bit of that yesterday while I wasn't feeling well. Like I said, my work schedule right now has been kicking my ass lately. We're doing overnight shifts, and it is a pain in the neck to do overnight shifts. But yeah. So otherwise, this week's been pretty interesting. Well, interesting in a good point of I haven't really done much. Other than yesterday, I kind of pushed myself a little too far, and then spent the rest of the day sleeping. Yeah, not joking. I got up at like 7 in the morning, I think, is when, because my grandfather had a doctor's appointment. So I got up at about 7 as him and my mom were leaving. Yeah, so like as they're getting ready to go, I'm getting up at like 7, get some stuff done quick, everything else. So it was fun. It was entertaining. We were happy with it. At least I was. And I got some stuff done on my tablet and everything else. But, yeah, pretty much boring week. But that doesn't mean that the topics I have are dull. Not in the least. It's sad, but yeah. But anyway, let's get into the podcast and let's get this started because, I don't know, I wouldn't mind a little extra sleep since I'm going to be working 4 days next week and my schedule is like really screwed up. So anyway, let's get this podcast underway and let's get rolling on the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. Okay, let me take you back in time for a little bit. Way back to the day. Back to when, I want to say before I was born or I was little. I don't know which. I want to say when I was little. A movie came out called Super Mario Brothers, starring Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. And it was panned critically by everybody. Still to this day, fans and gamers alike hate the movie. I personally love it. I adore it. And it's not one of those, oh, he just likes really crappy movies. No, I will tell you if a movie is garbage. I'm like the critic. I will tell you if a movie is garbage. If I go to see a movie and it sucks, believe me, I'm the first one in the first row bitching. Or I'm all the way in the back of the theater, which is where I usually like to sit, and I am complaining to myself and anyone that's willing to hear me in earshot how bad this movie is. I've only ever done that one time and was not asked to leave because we were all bitching about how bad it was. That was a really bad movie, too. I mean, at least the part that I was complaining about was bad. The rest of the movie was good, but that one part where I started complaining, we just all got into a unison there. It's like, yeah, this was really bad. We're all just chanting it, like in the back row, and everybody in the theater was even going, yeah, this really does suck. And in case anybody's wondering, that part was in X-Men Wolverine Origins. Yeah. Yeah, it was, I went to go see it a second time, and I finally realized the part that I was thinking of that sucked when I went to see it the first time, so, yeah. But anyway, if you're a fan of Mario Brothers, even the Super Mario Brothers, well, get ready to hear Mamma Mia! Because Mario is possibly coming back to the big screen. Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto, you wonderful bastard, is in talks right now with Illumination Entertainment founder, and they're expected to produce a film. The Wall Street Journal and The Hollywood Reporter reported this on Tuesday. Universal Studios subsidiary Illumination Entertainment, who are famous for Despicable Me, Minions, and Sing. So basically two movies that involve their little yellow cash cows that aren't Pikachu, and a movie that I saw the Cliff Notes version for thanks to CinemaSins and hated it. Well, they're close to an agreement with Nintendo to produce an animated film inspired by the Super Mario Bros. Game franchise. Now, usually this is a good and bad thing, and I guarantee you, if anybody out there listens to the CU podcast, I guarantee you the next podcast they do, they're going to be talking about this. I guarantee you that Pat and Ian this will be the hot topic for them, that they will want to touch this, and they will not let it go. Just be forewarned, they are going to talk about this, I guarantee it. But anyway, so they're in close to an agreement for this. According to the Wall Street Journal, Illumination Entertainment has been in talks with Nintendo for more than a year about the film. The Wall Street Journal has cited an anonymous person close to the discussion as saying that the most complicated issue in the talks has been making the Japanese video game company feel confident it will be involved enough in the creative process. When they did the first one that came out and everybody hated it, they had nothing. They had like little to no say in this. I remember multiple interviews, multiple articles that I read about this movie saying that, Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo were hating their roles. They had to get drunk on the set just to get through each and every day. At one point, Bob Hoskins busted his hand, broke his hand with the crappy bakery van that they were using as their plumbing truck. The sliding door got his hand in the frame, and he had to wear a cast at one point they painted blue. Both him, before his death, and John Leguizamo, yes, Bob Hoskins is dead, by the way, both of them said this movie was a gigantic blot on their otherwise record. And I shouldn't really say spotless, because I think John Leguizamo had some really bad films myself. Bob Hoskins, in all honesty, I remember him from two movies that I remember him for, and I like them both. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'll probably be one of those fans. If he'd still be alive, I'd go, hey, I really liked you in both these movies. I don't know any other movies you're in, but these two are the ones that I grew up watching. Well, okay, I bought Super Mario Brothers like a few years ago, as I had heard of it. But I grew up watching him in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I love that movie. John Leguizamo, the only movie I know him from is Ice Age. He plays Sid the Sloth. That's the only movie I know him from. Besides a small stint that he did on ER, which I didn't like his character in that. But anyway, getting back to... I'm getting like way off topic here. But anyway, Nintendo didn't really have much to say in the first one. They kept changing creators and that all the time, according to the multiple articles that I read about the first movie. But Nintendo video game designer and producer Shigeru Miyamoto, wonderful man, who created the Super Mario Brothers characters and franchise, has reportedly been part of the discussions that I would expect him to be. If you're going to have a movie with Mario and Luigi, I would expect you to have the big cheese involved in this. He is expected to be a producer of the film with Illumination Entertainment founder and co-founder Chris Meledandri, or however you pronounce your last name. Melakopa, for whatever, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. It's Meledandri, for those of you willing to try to figure it out. The person with knowledge of the discussion said that the possible agreement could allow Illumination Entertainment to make multiple films based on the franchise, but only one film is currently planned. Illumination Entertainment's MacGuff, I'm not kidding, it's MacGuff studio in Paris would animate the film, and it is reportedly in the early stages of development. Woo! So you're already planning and developing a movie that hasn't been approved yet, and you're still in talks to get the complete green light on. So Illumination is trying to become Disney. Okay. Couldn't get off Disney for a week, could I? Nintendo president Tatsumi Kimishima has said in an interview with the Asahi Shimbun newspaper in May of 2016 that Nintendo was in talks with production companies to make films based on its games. Well, yeah, you figure Nintendo's got the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Wii U bombed, but you had the Nintendo Wii that was huge. Now you have the Nintendo Switch. You released the NES Classic Edition, that small plug-and-play sort of thing for your TV. Now you got the SNES Classic Edition coming out. Hell, I just saw in a Bed Bath & Beyond flyer that I got in the mail, Sega Classic Games that looks like the Sega Genesis for $40 at Bed Bath & Beyond. So, yeah. Nintendo wants to, increase their stronghold. Sega owns the Genesis, by the way, but I'm just making a point here. Nintendo just wants to capitalize and try to make themselves bigger than what they were because, let's face it, I said this before and I'll say it 1,000 more times, Nintendo is really the only game company left anymore. Microsoft and Sony have both beaten themselves to a point that Nintendo's basically just pushed them, and they both got knocked down. Microsoft shot themselves in the foot with the Xbox 360 and the Red Rings of Death. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's when the controller ports won't work and it's completely useless to you. Look it up. It's really an interesting thing. You see people really get pissed off and their way of dealing with it. And Sony focuses more on their movies than anything else. Their PlayStation games and their PlayStation systems all suck. In all honesty, and I'm going to say this, if Sony would want to get themselves back into the game system market and get themselves back into that genre, what they should do is, in all honesty, create a console that has complete backwards compatibility. Call it the PlayStation Neo. Have it be whatever new games you want to come out with be playable. PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, and the original PlayStation have all those games, discs included, that can play on this thing in 1080p. And I guarantee you that you will outsell Nintendo within 3.5 hours. Because when fans get a hold of this and they go out, because all you need anymore to get something really popular is to just give it to a YouTuber. And if you don't give it to a YouTuber, I guarantee you somebody out there that has a gaming channel on YouTube will go out, get one of those, buy it, and just go to town on it. So if Sony wants to do that, get themselves back in the game thing, that's what they should do. But as far as Microsoft's concerned, they've screwed themselves to the wall. And Nintendo just wants to basically branch out because they know there's nothing more they can do. So yeah, films would be the next logical step for them. I guess they want to, try to follow in Sony's footsteps and figure, well, we got the game market completely covered. I mean, what's our competition? The Xbox One X? That was formerly Project Scorpio? Yeah, big, real challenge there. Let's see, and how many people are still having issues with Windows 10, and how many ditched Windows 8? How many went back to Windows 7 when they came out with 8 because 8 sucked? How many actually use 10? Everybody? How many didn't go to like Linux or something else? Yeah, real competition right there. And then you have Sony, like I said, just wants to focus on movies. So Nintendo wanting to move into that market is sort of a logical step. So the BuzzFeed website, which I don't trust anything BuzzFeed ever says, reported back, though, in 2014, Nintendo was in talks with Sony Pictures for film rights to the Super Mario Bros. Franchise. The live-action Ghost in the Shell film's producer, Ava Arad, was linked to the production. Now, I don't want to touch about the live-action Ghost in the Shell because so many people bitched and complained about that because Scarlett Johansson wasn't Asian enough, they thought, for the role as Major Katsuragi. Here's a news flash for you people. You get whoever's popular. You don't get whoever you think should do the movie. You get whoever's popular. If, in all honesty, if Melissa McCarthy would have still been a thing, they probably would have tried to get her to do the role somehow. I guarantee it. But Scarlett Johansson was a big name. I guarantee it's not like they just threw darts at a dartboard and that's where the darts stuck on. Although maybe they did, I don't know. But, there's that idea. But anyway, so Nintendo is already calibrating with Universal Studios to produce Nintendo attractions for its Universal Studios Japan and Universal Orlando resorts and the Universal Studios Hollywood theme parks. Oh, yeah, because it's just what I want is to go spend a day with Mario, which actually would sound pretty cool, but have to pay probably less than I'd have to pay to park at Disney World. Yeah, I don't think so. So, oh, the hell was I now? Oh, yeah. Osaka's Universal Studio Japan began construction of its Super Nintendo World attraction back in June. Oh, goody. Let's see here. We got, okay. So Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jankiel directed the 1993 live-action Super Mario Bros. Film starring Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo and Dennis Hopper. Dennis Hopper. Him, I really don't remember for anything. Like I said, Bob Hoskins, I remember him from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. where he played Eddie Valiant. I did like him in that movie. I thought that was a really good movie. My one uncle and I can almost quote that movie line for line, and that's scary. I remember it was like a Good Friday. My family used to have a tradition where we used to go out and we were eating as a small little family on Good Friday. My one uncle and I are sitting next to each other, and we're quoting lines from the movie, because I borrowed his VHS copy of it, and we're literally quoting lines from the movie. I still have yet to get that on DVD. I gotta get that on DVD yet. But we're quoting lines from the movie, because I'm going, I said, well, what was the singing sword singing? And he goes, singing sword singing? Yeah, in the warehouse, the Acme warehouse, where Eddie Valiant pulls out the singing sword and it starts singing. He goes, oh, crap. It was singing. I said, you don't remember that part? And my aunt just looks at him like, you've watched that movie how many times and you don't know that part? But yeah, we were getting other things, though, so it all worked out pretty well. But anyway, there was that back in 1993 is when the live-action Super Mario Brothers that everybody hated came out. I liked it. I don't know why everybody hates it. I liked it. But anyway, the franchise's most recent game, Super Mario Odyssey, which has so many fans either being happy that there's a new Mario game or pissed off that they can't get very far in it. I don't know which, because I see a lot of pissed off comments on YouTube. Super Mario Odyssey videos are getting like a crap ton of comments. People are going, I can't get past this part. I've been playing this thing for 5 hours, and I think I was close to the city only to find out that I'm in like some forest or something. I don't play the game. I don't have a Nintendo Switch, so it doesn't really affect me, but I just find it funny. And you have people that are flipping out about this. Yeah, so it launched and shipped for the Nintendo Switch back on October 27th. And Nintendo revealed earlier this month that the game sold an estimated 2 million copies in the first 3 days. So that tells you Mario's still hot. Yeah, come on, ladies. That little Italian plumber. Yeah, you want some of Mario, right? Mamma mia! Yeah. But anyway, so you have that. Like I said, the last time it hit theaters was 1993. And like I said, the late Bob Hoskins did describe it as the worst job he'd ever done. I personally think that's not true. I liked it. I liked him in it. If he'd still be alive, I would tell him, hey, I thought you were really great in it. And I do. I think he was really great in the movie. I mean, it's not your fault if you're handed a script that sucks. You make, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. In his case, life gave him oranges, so he made orange juice and orangeade. It wasn't that bad of a script. It was just the fact that it kept being part of it kept getting screwed over every single day. And I feel sorry for him, but I don't think it's one of the worst things he's ever done. But then again, I've only seen you in 2 movies, and I like them both. So, what the hell do I know? But, yeah, so Illumination Entertainment, though, like I said, has also been credited with, because there's more films. I have like 2 different articles here. That's why I'm doubling up here. They've also been credited with films like Hop, The Secret Life of Pets, and Sing, which I already said, not to mention their Despicable Me franchise, and the Minions. Those little lovable yellow, yeah, those things. So, you have that. You're getting at least decent amount from this. This is something that I would look forward to, because if they come out with a new Mario movie, that'd be pretty cool. But I'm not neglecting to mention one thing here, and it's the fact that you're trying to make a movie based on a video game. We all know how badly this is going to turn out. I mean, let's face it, video game-based movies have a track record that is worse than live-action anime adaptations. You have World of Warcraft that, if it would not have been for the overseas sales, would not have made diddly squat. That movie tanked in the U.S. so bad, it made The Adventures of Pluto Nash look like a kindergartner's finger paint. I'm not joking. That movie tanked in the U.S. The Adventures of Pluto Nash is considered one of the biggest flops in history. I still have yet to see it, and I want to see that, just to see how bad it is. But when you have a movie like World of Warcraft, whose games, mind you, are still playable, tanking, that's bad. Assassin's Creed, I don't remember if they came out with the movie about that. I'm pretty sure they did. But either way, that didn't end too well. If they did, I don't remember it. I think I remember it coming out, and I don't think it came out to really great applause. And there are hundreds of other video game-based movies. Tomb Raider starring Angelina Jolie, the original 2 that she played in. That movie, fans loved and hated it, but it was based on the freaking games. Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. Then they came out with a newer one, and it really didn't help. But then again, the Tomb Raider games, I picked one up when I still had a PlayStation 2, and I couldn't even play it. It was just so awful. And I think that was a legacy one. But that's the thing I was glancing over the most here, is that video game-based movies suck. I'm sorry to say it, folks. It's one of the worst things you could ever have in an entire thing of movies. You want to make a movie, make it off of a book. Make it off of a TV show. Base it off of a freaking, game that you play on a damn tabletop that you can make more entertaining. Don't base it on a video game where you're given a choice for how you want to play. I mean, tabletop games, I could see you doing like a movie like that. Hell, they did Battleship. I thought that was pretty good. You just don't make it like the game. Just take the name of the game. That was a pretty good movie, though I think people hated that one too. But then again, whatever I like, people seem to hate. And that's something that always annoys me, but you're going to have that. So anyway, if they come out with this, look forward to it. If not, well, you heard it here, folks. There's a new one in discussion. Though it's partially already being made, so it's probably going to come out. If not, it's just going to wind up on YouTube. So that's something to look forward to. You're listening to the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. The only podcast where I can talk for an entire hour and nobody ever tells me to shut up. You people are out there, right? Alright, so how many of you out there enjoy the One Piece manga? How many actually like the One Piece anime series? How many of you even know what One Piece is? Since I can't see any of your hands, I know I'm just making a fruitless gesture at this point, but for those of you that have been following the One Piece manga, good news! If you're looking forward to the Wano arc, you got about 1 to 2 years. That's if the series lasts that long. Don't get me wrong, it's still going. It's one of the ones that fans either hate or love. It's sort of one of those that's on the fence. They hate it because it's so damn long, but they love it because it's so damn long. It has staying power. Yes, because it doesn't want to go anywhere. It's a good manga, though, and it's a good series. I will admit that. So it's not something that you want to just throw in the trash can and say, screw this, I'm done. But anyway, Shueisha released the Super Kabuki 2 One Piece photo collection and information book on Saturday. So this would have been last week, by the way. And the book contained an interview between original One Piece manga creator Ichiro Oda and Luffy's Kabuki actor Ichikawa Inosuke IV. Now, for those of you that don't know what Kabuki is, it's a type of play in Japan. So, there you go. Also, in the words of Doctor Who, Google it. Anyway, in the interview, Ichikawa and Oda are discussing the character Little Oars Jr. and how the Kabuki play portrayed him on stage. When Ichikawa mentioned to Oda that he's interested in the manga's upcoming Wano Country arc, Oda responded that he thinks that he will get to the arc within 1 to 2 years. But he will also probably draw a story related to Ace within the arc. Now, for those of you that don't know, Ace was Luffy's brother, and spoiler alert, he's dead. He died protecting Luffy from one of the Navy generals. So, there you go. One of the admirals, I should say. In the new run of the Kabuki play runs... The new run of the Kabuki play runs in Tokyo from October 6th to November 25th, so you can still catch it yet if you plan to go over to Tokyo. Ichikawa had to step down from his roles as Luffy and Hancock after breaking his arm during a curtain call of a performance. Ooh, that hurts. I don't do acting, but that has to hurt. One Piece recently held a collaboration with the city of Kyoto from October 7th to the 22nd, titled One Piece's 20th X Kyoto. Kyoto Straw Travel Journal, another country of Wano. The calibration was part of the manga's 20th anniversary celebration, but it was also held to celebrate the upcoming Wano country arc in the traditional city of Kyoto's. Similarly to Wano country, Oda previously told fans that he planned to enter the arc this year. So, yeah, it's this year, now it's 1 to 2 years. You can't really blame, I really say this, you can't really blame him at this point, because you can't blame him. You really can't. Stuff happens, you have to change stuff. If you ever read Bakuman, you know how it's like to be a mangaka or a manga creator. You can Google search them, figure out the lifestyles that they lead and what they have to go through. You can see how painful it can be from time to time. Oda said in an interview in July of last year that he had finished around 65% of the manga. 65% last July. 65%. Which means that there's still 35% of the manga to go. Now, One Piece started way back in the day. So if 65% is done, they just held a 20th anniversary. So that means it's been going for 20 years and it's only 65% done. That's huge. The manga currently has 430 million copies in print worldwide, 360 million copies in print in Japan, and 70 million copies in print outside of Japan. Oda began serializing the manga in Weekly Shonen Jump in 1997. There you go, 1997. What I was doing in 97, I was in elementary school in 97. Yeah, I'm old. And the manga has been published in more than 30 countries. Shueisha released the manga's 87th. Sorry, I was a little blurry there. 87th compiled book volume on November 2nd, and Viz Media released the 84th volume on November 7th. So, you figure if the 87th compiled book volume, which would be the 87th volume of the manga, just got released on November 2nd, 5 days later, 3 volumes before it got released here in the U.S. It means we got a little ways to go. So, there you go. If you're looking forward to the Wano arc, you got about 1 to 2 years to wait. But in the meantime, you want catch up from One Piece from the start. We're over 800 episodes in. Why not? I guarantee you, probably by the time you finish watching all 800 some episodes and you're up to date, they'll probably be in the Wano arc for the manga. Yeah, that's actually something I should wonder. How long would it take you to watch the entire One Piece up to date? It's like 800. I think we're at like 812 episodes now. I think last week's was 812. So you figure 812 episodes, and we are, let's see, 812 episodes, about 30 minutes long each. That's about 22, anywhere from 22 to 25 minutes long. Yeah, take about a year, give or take. And that's doing Andrew math off the top of my head. So anyway, look forward to that. You got about you pretty much got about a year or 2 years to go till it comes out. But look forward to it when it does, because I guess that's going to be the good part of this. I don't see how anything could suck after that. I mean, right now in the anime, I haven't kept up with the manga since I gave up reading Shonen Jump, since they went digital, bastards. But I haven't really read manga like One Piece and that in a while, since Shonen Jump went digital, so I really don't know what's happening right now, per se. But as far as the anime is concerned, they're up to the Big Mom stuff. So in all honesty, if I really wanted to see how that's going to end, I could probably just look up the manga volumes and just go, oh, so that's how it's going to end. Okay, well, now I know. But I kind of want to watch it. I kind of want to know on my own, and I kind of want to find out like everybody else that watches the show. So, yeah. But anyway, like I said, there you go. 1 to 2 years till the Wano arc comes. Can't blame Oda. It's not his fault. Speaking of One Piece, who out there likes Nami? Do you like Nami? Do you even know who Nami is? Well, if you know who Nami is, then I got some good news for you. Because those of you that have a love for Nami and a very deep pockets can own a Nami doll. Yes, that's right. And don't think I'm talking about one of those that you sit on your desk and stare at like the creepy people a lot of people think anime fans are. No, I think this one would take that to the next level, but I'll explain. So, Anime News Network's merchandise coverage, sponsored by Otaku Mode, by Tokyo Otaku Mode, is where I got this. So, just want to get that out there. This is where I got the article. So if there's anything wrong with it, or if I screw anything up, blame them, because that's where I got the article from. So Time Skip Nami is known for a lot of things. She's the navigator of the Straw Hat Crew, she loves the oranges of her hometown, and she pretty much has measurements that would make any actress, and I want to say porn star, probably jealous as hell. Her bust to waist to hip ratio is insane. Danny Cho's Smart Doll line wasn't intimidated by the character's fantastical figure and have brought Nami to life with near perfect design consistency. The doll includes a bikini top, a pair of denim jeans, and Nami retails for, get ready for this, folks, because this is where it lost me. I was drinking a soda when I read this, and I almost choked on it. It retails for 73,116 yen. When you translate that to US, that's about $643. And it's scheduled to ship in January. That's right, January. So if you got like $650, because don't forget, you're probably gonna have to pay shipping. So I'm gonna estimate. Okay, it'll be a little more than that. Let's go with about $690. You're gonna be really screwed here. Choose Smart Doll has been in the works since at least 2013 as an interactive home appliance that helps users bid farewell to... Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, there's some perfect English here. Oh, God. This is good. Bid farewell to loneliness. I'm not kidding. It's spelled Roneriness. Loneliness. That's some good old English right there. Man, where's Minute to Sage for a round of Spot the English? The doll was originally made on the image of the original character, Mira Sunaga, but has since expanded out into many different looks. The current rendition is a posable figure fashion. I'm tired yet. Posable fashion doll. It uses an internal skeleton to stay posed without the use of a stand or other assistance. So Code Geass, the Loose of the Rebellion, Lamperouge was announced as joining the lineup as part of the anime's 10th anniversary as well. So in other words, it uses a metal skeleton. So I really hate to say it this way, but it's basically a high-end sex doll. There you go, I said it. That's basically what it is. It's basically, they're charging you $643 American, give or take, for an overglorified posable mannequin. And I really hate to say this, but what's the first thing that otaku fans are going to think about? Yeah. I don't even have to say it. You can guess. And it's disturbing and sad at the same time. That's the type of people that give otakus a bad name, by the way. So, $643, and you can buy yourself a Nami doll, complete with a bikini top, pair of denim jeans, and a metal skeleton on the inside, to get rid of your loneliness. There's supposed to be loneliness, but that is some classic English right there. That is some good old classic English. Oh, God. Spot to bid farewell to loneliness. Oh, God. Oh, I needed that. I really did. That was good. So, if you got, let's just say, if you got about $700, you can pick yourself up a Nami doll. Personally, I can think of a few other characters I would rather have than Nami. Sorry, Nico Robin would come to mind. If we want to just go with One Piece, Nico Robin would come to mind. If you want to go outside of One Piece, there's an entire cavalcade of characters that people would rather have. But sure, we'll go with Nami from One Piece, a really popular series right now. Okay, not a problem. Personally, I mean, I wouldn't mind an Android 18 from Dragon Ball Super. I'll go with that. But I don't see a person spending $643 plus shipping, because you can't tell me that this is going to be something that they're going to ship you for free. They will lose their ass on the shipping of this. As somebody that shipped stuff out with eBay, I did one international thing, and there's a reason why I've only done one. It is expensive as crap to ship stuff internationally. Even if I do like a small, medium, or large flat rate box, I'm looking at almost $70 just to ship something. That's worst case scenario. You have to deal with weight for that stuff, because depending on how you're shipping it, it can't weigh a certain amount of pounds. Customs is another problem. An entire cavalcade of stuff can happen. Don't get me wrong, I'll buy stuff from overseas sellers. I bought stuff from Japan. I bought stuff from Hong Kong. I bought something from England. I'm not against buying stuff from other countries. I'm against selling it to other countries because I have to deal with the customs form. I have to deal with the shipping costs. You cannot tell me that this is going to be shipped for free. If you're going to ship this for free, then you might as well include that $643. It better include shipping, because that ain't gonna be enough. Because if it's got a metal skeleton in it, first off, if they x-ray this, they're gonna think it's a person, and your ass is gonna get busted for possible human trafficking. Until you explain, no, it's a posable doll. Then they're gonna bust you for something else. And like I said, you can think, oh sorry, it's an interactive appliance. An interactive home appliance. Yeah, like people are going to be talking to their vacuum cleaners. Sure, I talk to my fridge all the time. I try asking it, can I have something healthy? I talk to my freezer, can you get a little colder for me? I talk to my oven every now and then, can you heat up a little faster? I want to have my pizza now. Occasionally I'll talk to my microwave. I don't want to talk to a home appliance all the time. Interactive home appliance. Is it a Roomba? Is it going to talk back to me? I can talk to a chair with a mirror on it, and I can have a conversation because I'd be talking to myself. Interactive home appliance. Screw it. I'll put a mirror on my fridge. There you go. Mirror on my fridge. I'll put a mirror on my fridge, then I can have a talking interactive appliance. It's interactive when I open up the door, and it can talk with me. As long as I look in the mirror and I'm talking. There you go. There's your interactive home appliance. to bid farewell to loneliness. I still love that. But anyway, so there you go. If you want one, $643 American, $7,116 in yen, and it's scheduled to ship in January. They didn't say what year. Mind you, I'm assuming it's next year, but they didn't specify a year. I'm guessing next year, if not maybe 2019 or 2020. That's if. It just says scheduled. There's probably going to be delays. Oh, the mold isn't right. The skeletons are breaking. Why did we get into this business? Just a few dozen things that quickly come to my mind as possible problems. This is just the start of it. But it's still funny to think about. I'd like to apologize to anybody that felt uncomfortable with this topic. But in all honesty, it's funny. It's funny in a cosmic sort of way because you have people that are, you know that they're going to spend money on anime merchandise. And this is basically creepy otaku's wet dream. And that's the sad part. They are going to love this. They are going to buy this. And you know it is going to be sitting on the corner of their bed watching them as they sleep. Or it's going to be sitting in a chair in the corner. Or it's going to be in their closet. It's just not going to be something that they are going to... This is not something that can just sit on a desk. It's obvious. If it's got a metal skeleton, this is not something you're sitting on a desk. This is a full life-size doll at this point. If it's a posable fashion doll, is what the current rendition of it is, then you know it's going to be life. It's going to be at least lifelike. So it's going to be at least 5 foot, an average height. 5'2", 5'3". It's going to be like an average height. So you're looking at least 5 feet. So you know, like 5 feet or higher, I should say. So you know it ain't going on a desk. Well, okay, it can go on a desk, but it's not going to go on a desk the way you want it to go on a desk. I'm sorry, I'm just finding this ironic. It really is. They're charging this much money, and they should just come right out and say what it is, but they're not going to because we don't want to creep people out. We want to get those teenagers to drop some money off their parents' bank accounts because I want it. $643, forget it. But I want it. Yeah, and I want a Caribbean vacation. I want a freaking cruise. I want a brand new car. I want a lot of stuff. $643 can just stay by my side. Seriously, that is honestly ironically funny. It really is. And it's funny in a sad sort of way. But it's funny in a way that I can't stop laughing about it. This is how idiotic it is. So there you go. If you want Nami, you can pick one up. What was the name of the company again so I can remember to avoid it? What's the name of it? Danny chose Smart Doll. Yeah, there you go. Wow. And in case you're wondering, there are pictures out there so you can see what it looks like, or at least I'm guessing what the prototype looks like. I will not have them up on here so I can avoid copyright infringement, but yeah, Google it. Check it out. Just type in Danny Cho's Nami doll. See what comes up, and I guarantee you'll probably be hating me then in the morning. I'll lose fans, but at least you'll understand why I'm laughing and why I'm getting a kick out of this, because it's funny. It really is funny. The Absolutely Completely Random podcast is brought to you by electricity. Because without it, I wouldn't be able to record anything on my laptop because my battery requires it in order to run and it needs electricity to recharge. Yeah, I know. But I can't get a water wheel in my room. Well, if you're a fan of Ace Attorney the game, well, you better get ready for this. Funimation has revealed the Ace Attorney anime's English dub cast. And all I have to say to that is, idiot! For those of you who don't know what that means, it's basically objection. Because it's pretty cool. Anyway, Funimation announced the English dub cast for its home video release of the Ace Attorney anime on Tuesday. The cast includes the following. So let's see what heavy hitters, I didn't read this yet. So let's see what heavy hitters we got coming down the pipeline, shall we? Eric Vale as Phoenix Wright. Lindsay Seidel as Maya Fey. Christopher Weecap as Miles Edgeworth. Josh Martin as Larry Butts. Brian Massey as Dick Gumshoe. Yeah, he's a funny one. Colleen Clickenbeard. I'm not kidding. As Maya Fey. Kent Williams as the judge. Jeannie Tirado as April May. Kara Edwards as Cody Hackins. Janelle Lutz as Dee Velasquez. Anthony Bowling as Gregory Edgeworth. Jessica Peterson as Francisca Von Karma. Philip Anarella as Jack Hammer. Bill Jenkins as Manfred Von Karma. Blake Shepard as Robert Hammond. Whitney Rogers as Lotta Hart. Phil Parsons as Marvin Grossberg. And Terry Dottie as Misty Faye. And there's still more yet. Hold on. Let's see here. Anastasia Muntz as Wendy Oldbag. Oh, I know her. Okay, now I remember that one. Gregory Lush as Winston Payne. Chris Rager as Will Powers. Larry Brantley as Red White. Ben Phillips as Frank Swat. Tyler Walker as Sal Molina. R. Bruce Elliott as Yanni Yogi. Jill Harris will be portraying the young Phoenix Wright. Alpha U as Miles Edgeworth's younger self, and the young form of Larry Butts will be Steph Garrett. The narrator will be Greg Dulce, and that's the end of the list. So that's actually a pretty decent cast of characters and a pretty decent cast of voice actors and actresses for it. So that's not exactly too bad. The series premiered back in 2016. I did watch the entire series of it, and it's really good. I recommend it if you want to watch it sub before the dub comes out. It's really good. Ayamu Watanabe, Space Brothers, Doraemon Films, directed the series at A1 Pictures, and Ashihiro Tomoka, Pokemon XY, Trinity Blood, you know those. Handled series composition. Karuwada from Inuyasha and Princess Tutu composed the music, and Kiko Ota Hayako designed the characters. So, it's like I said, it's a pretty decent cast of characters. There's some pretty decent ones in here. So, they basically got the entire cast list for all, I think it was only like 13 episodes. Give or take, yeah, because each case is only like maybe 2 or 3 episodes. So, yeah, about 13 episodes, give or take. So, they got the whole cast of characters for it, which doesn't seem too bad. I'm looking forward to it. I like the subbed version, so I'm guessing the dub one, I'm going to give it a shot, see if it's any good or not. But still, it looks pretty interesting to me. I mean, it does. It looks really interesting. The cast of characters that we have to play the characters, the voice actors and actresses look really entertaining. So this could be pretty cool. Eric Vale, though, that sounds familiar, and I don't know why that sounds familiar to me. But, yeah, it's not too bad. So I'm looking forward to this. Check it out if you get a chance. I do recommend the sub version. That was pretty good. So if you get a chance, check it out. It's Ace Attorney. It's really not bad. It's based on the Phoenix Wright games. Can't go wrong with that. It's a really good show. Really good.
This is Professor Sherman T. Clump, and you're listening to the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast, only on YouTube. Now, if you excuse me, I gotta get back to the kitchen and get back to my sandwich. It's a very special sandwich.
Okay, so I guess I can't put this off any longer. I've been wanting to put it off as long as I could. And looking back on my list of topics, it's the last one I have to do yet on my list, so I can no longer put it off. So, some sad news for Dragon Ball fans this week, as voice actress Suru Hiromi sadly passed away. She was well known for the voice of Bulma in the Dragon Ball series, and she passed away sadly at the age of 57 earlier this week. As of right now, they are ruling the cause of death as, and I have that further down here, so I have 3 different articles about this. And I have what her cause of death, what they're considering it right now, what is being reported as. I have what that is so I can explain it to you. As of November 17th, it is now being reported that her death was from aortic dissection. And what an aortic dissection is a serious condition. And I got this straight off the Mayo Clinic, by the way, because I wasn't even sure what it was. An aortic dissection is a serious condition in which the inner layer of the aorta, the large blood vessel branching off of the heart, tears and blood surges through the tear, causing the inner and middle layers of the aorta to separate or dissect. If the blood-filled channel ruptures through the outside aortic wall, aortic dissection is often fatal, and sadly in this case it was fatal. She passed away sadly, and the whole thing is it's really sad. And what really drove the point home for me today with how sad this was a picture which I will have up on here because it's just too good. I've seen it. I give credit to the creator. It was done by a creator on DeviantArt. It will be down in the description in case you want to see it on the DeviantArt page. I will find that again and link it into the description as well. So they get the credit for the photo. It was very well done. They did a really good job because it brought a tear to my eye. It really did. The picture is of Bulma on the back of Shenron. You have Trunks yelling "Mama" as Vegeta's holding Bra in his hands, and Trunks, him, and the baby look on and watch Bulma being taken by Shenron to the afterworld. And it really is sad because there won't be anybody like her again. And so this is this is really sad news that came out of the land of the rising sun this week. So here's what happened. And please bear with me because I've been trying to read this most of the day, at least from what I remembered in my head, and then I have it here in front of me. So please bear with me. It was reported originally that she died in a car accident. However, that is not the case. As I said, they are currently reporting her death as aortic dissection, so there is that. So it basically, I guess you could say natural causes at this point, by that being the natural cause, but I don't want to stress that. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I have very little medical knowledge other than how to put a Band-Aid on and very little other things. I don't know how that stuff works. On November 16th, Suru was reportedly found unconscious in her car and was declared dead after being brought to a hospital. The cause of death at the time was under investigation, with no signs of a car accident having occurred. Besides her iconic 31-year role in the Dragon Ball series, the AONI production voice actress also voiced prominent roles in Ranma Half, Ghost Sweeper Mikami, Sureke, Apan Man, and numerous other voices, including one in Trigun. She did do a voice in that as well. So she was discovered unconscious in her car along the Shuto Expressway in Tokyo. The vehicle was stopped. The hazard lights were on. According to the police reports at the time, they did not see any skid marks or anything that led them to believe that she hit anything or that anything hit her or that there was a major problem. She had to slam on her brakes. So what it seems like is that she probably started feeling very ill, stopped her car, tried to, I'm guessing, get her bearings or something, and just died. She was unconscious and she was pronounced dead. Like I said, I don't want to stress anything. I'm going on hypothesis based on the information that is available to me that I can guesstimate what, an actual probability of what possibly happened. But again, I don't know. I can't stress that. I can't stress that enough. There were no external wounds, no signs of an accident. Police believe it's highly likely she died from an illness, and as I said, as right now they're reporting that to be aortic dissection that she died from. They are investigating the exact cause. So she did voice the characters, including, like I said, Bulma from Dragon Ball series, Dokin-chan in Apan Man, Yukio Kunoji in Ranma Half, Riko Mikami in Ghost Sweeper Mikami, Meryl Streep in Trigun, among many others. You can find an entire thing of her on her Wikipedia page. There's a lot of characters that she did the voice for, and it's really sad to know that she's gone. She also voiced video game characters, including Naomi Hunter in the Metal Gear Solid series. So there's, like I said, I did get a couple articles on this. So there's one more that kind of gave a tremendous amount of information. That's the one that I want to go to last here. This one was from, if I remember right, it's like Otaku something or other. It wasn't Otaku USA. It was another one that I got this from. They said, it is a sad day in the Dragon Ball Super community as we lose yet another member of what made this community so great. I'm just going to quote the entire article. I'm just going to read it for you because, in all honesty, this was the first article that I read on this, and this is actually the one that pretty much drives the point home enough. And I can't stress that enough. The Dragon Ball Super fandom has reason to mourn the loss of one of its own. According to the news reports from Japan, Surusu Hiromi passed away today in Japan. This was dated yesterday, by the way. She was voicing her character in the Dragon Ball series for over 31 years, and she was 57 when she passed away. Japanese websites like Okomaku or Otokamu .jp, I can't pronounce that one, I really can't, provided stills taken from Japanese news reports covering Dragon Ball Super community's superstar's death. At the moment, many people are making rumors that she passed away in a car accident, but no, that's not true. At the very moment, the news reports indicate that Suru Hiromi passed away in her car. She was, like I said earlier in the other reports, she was unconscious. She was taken to a hospital where she was pronounced dead upon arriving at the hospital. After being found unconscious in her car, the actress was rushed to the hospital, but they declared her dead when brought in for treatment. So she was dead on arrival. There was no sign on any attack or any other accident, so officials are investigating to confirm whether the death was from natural causes, which aortic dissection, I'm assuming you would consider a natural death. That's why I said, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a coroner. I can't say. Suru Hiromi was born in November of 1960 in Japan, and she's been voicing various anime characters from the 1970s. The actress did voice acting in many famous anime, such as Ranma Half, Miyuki, Trigun, Dragon Ball Super, and The Story of Perry. Hiromi Suru was voicing Bulma for 31 years in the Dragon Ball series from the very beginning in 1986 with Dragon Ball, where she also played Piccolo Jr. She stayed with Bulma then throughout Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, which is currently in production, and over the years has added other roles to the resume like Baby Trunks and Bra, aka Bola. Her last voice appearance in Dragon Ball Super was episode 96. And I remember that episode. She was wishing them good luck to everybody leaving for the Tournament of Power. And that was the last voice that she did at the time. As of right now, they don't know if she did any more episodes that were pre-recorded with her voice that is still yet to air. So, because right now, Dragon Ball Super is doing the Tournament of Power arc, and Bulma's not there. She's not present for that because she's back on Earth. So it's unknown at this time whether or not her character is going to be able to come back or not. If there was still any more pre-recorded audio with her voice, we don't know. So that's something to look into on this. There are still still yet to air that. Toei Animation has yet to release a comment about the actress's death. As soon as they do, they'll. It was Otaku Cart. Okay, Otaku Cart will have it updated. That's the site that I got the article from. They end it with "Rest in peace, Hiromi Suru. We will miss you," and it is goddamn true. We will miss you. Someone like that just passes away like that. And first off, in the midst of the series, it's heartbreaking enough because now you have to try to figure out if there isn't any more of her pre-recorded voice. So if they didn't pre-record episodes in advance, and we don't have any more with her voice in it, then you have to figure out what are you going to do with the character? How do we go about this? We can't just change the voice. The fans are going to notice. They're going to know why. They're going to get pissed because nobody's going to be able to fill her shoes on this, and they know that. So this is definitely not something that they can handle. This is sort of like the Carrie Fisher thing with Star Wars. They can't handle this with the jawbone of an ass. They have to be very delicate in the way they do this because they know for a fact that if they screw this up, they will piss off fans. And it's something that's simple like just changing up the actress because that's not going to fly. The fans are going to know why. They're going to get pissed off that you're doing it, and you can't do that. Taking that, they're pulling the stuff from the Dragon Ball Super manga series. My guess is that Akira Toriyama has probably been made aware of this. If they're still making the manga, in other words, if there are still chapters that have yet to be drawn, it is easy to pull Bulma out of it, write her off that she's off doing something, that she's busy. It's very easy to do that. Would that be the best way of handling this? No. There is no easy way to handle this, and that's the saddest part about this. And the whole time I'm talking about this, I'm still having that image in my head of Trunks and Vegeta there in that comic, in that little tiny picture, bidding her farewell with Shenron, taking her off to the afterworld, and it is just it's really sad, and it's just driving the point home that the Dragon Ball community has lost they've really lost somebody special. Earlier this year, last month in fact, Grand Kai passed away. But last time we had seen Grand Kai was so many years ago. But Bulma was still recent. She was still doing the show up until episode 96, which was her last voiced appearance. And right now we're up to episode 116, which is airing tonight. I won't get a chance to watch that till tomorrow. But we're not going to have her. If there's no more pre-recorded Bulma voice, all we're going to have is the past stuff, and that's going to be it. And that, in turn, is bringing up my question, like I said, is how they're going to handle this, and they have to be careful in the way that they handle this. This isn't something that they can just easily go, okay, we're going to do this way, we're just going to kill her off. They can't do that. When you have the Dragon Balls and the introduction of the Super Dragon Balls, which can supersede them, you know for a fact that you can't just up and say, okay, we're going to just we're just going to kill her off. They're going to try to find a way to revive her, and it's not going to work that way. You can't do this with the jawbone of an ass, and that would be that. That's that option, is the jawbone of an ass, is trying to kill her off and saying that she's dead, and that's not going to fly. I don't know how much longer Dragon Ball Super has. Nobody really does. They wanted to keep going at least into next year. I don't think they were planning on this sudden death. If this derails it, I would hate to say so be it, but I could understand it. But there's a simple workaround. If they can find it, they just really have to put their minds to it and put their heads together and think about it. There is a simple way to off-put a majority of this. But it is still sad that somebody like this has passed away at only 57 years old on top of that. And it's just, it's really sad. And like I said, I was trying to hold off on this for as long as I could because I know this one was going to get to me. But it really is sad that she's passed away and that no one's going to be able to fill her shoes. And that's the saddest part of this. I mean, it's very sad. As I said in my comment on Facebook, when I saw the pictures, which is where I saw the one originally, she may be gone, but she will never be forgotten. May Shenron guide you into the afterworld, into the other world. Rest in peace, you will be missed. And it's goddamn true, she will be. She will be missed greatly. More than she will ever know, she will be missed. Alright, everybody, that's going to do it this week then for the Absolutely Completely Random podcast. I had to try to get myself back after that last topic. I knew it was going to get to me. I really did. As always, if you have any topics that you'd like me to talk about that you find during the week that you think you'd like to have my input on or like to hear my thoughts about, feel free to either leave them in the comments section of my video or on my discussion page on YouTube. I do check that. I try to, let me rephrase that. I try to check that at least twice a week, so I do try. Or you can email them to me at the at all lowercase, by the way, acrpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can send them to me on Twitter at Otaku Roads on Twitter. You can send them to me there. But otherwise, if you have any ideas on ways I can improve the podcast, feel free. I'm always looking for new ways to improve this. Like I said, same thing. acrpodcast@gmail.com. Any topics you want to do, any questions you have for me, like for possible future Q&A, I don't know. You might. I don't know. I usually try to answer anything, though. But anyway, send those to me as well. You can tweet the app. Yeah, I really can't talk right now. You can tweet them to me at Otaku Roads on Twitter, or email them to me at acrpodcast@gmail.com. And just before I go, just one last thing. Let's have a quick. So I wanted to do it at the end of the last topic, but I needed to compose myself a little more because I was starting to lose it a little bit too much. Before I sign off this week, I'd like to have a quick moment of silence for Bulma's voice actress, if we may. So, hold on one sec. May she rest in peace. And that'll do it for me this week, folks. For the absolutely completely random podcast. My name is Andrew Rhodes, and I will see you all. I'll talk to you all next week. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Try not to get trampled on Black Friday, and enjoy your day off from school for all of you that are still in school yet. I always enjoyed Thanksgiving. It was a couple days off from school. 4-day weekend. Yeah, so look forward to that. Enjoy it, and until next time, like I said, I'm Andrew Rhodes. This has been the Absolutely Completely Random podcast, and thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, bye, everybody.